And we are back. Welcome to the Shark Coast Tactical Podcast. My name is Will Mead. I am the owner of Shark Coast Tactical. I am here with my homies. I have Omar.
Hello.
I have Luke.
What's up?
And the amazing Dean Carroll.
What's going on, guys?
Welcome to episode, do you guys know?
26.
26. Episode 26. Before we get into the episode, if you're watching this from whatever social media platform, please just like the video, share it to people, give us a comment below. We do the podcast out of, I don't know why do we do this, but we do it out of, we want to try to increase our internet footprint, if you will, so it helps everything with our business. How you guys doing?
Not bad.
How was your holiday?
Oh, mine was relaxing. It was good.
Did you bake stuff?
Sweet potato pie, and that was it.
What do you mean sweet potato pie and that's it?
That's all I baked.
Do you guys know how to make fucking a pie? Hell no. I don't know how to make fucking pie. That's amazing. No, I can't make fucking pie.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
You're a chef. Of course it's easy.
I'm not a pastry chef. There's a big difference.
You know, one time I had this girlfriend like in 1996 or something, maybe 7, maybe 8, I don't know, but
the dark ages.
And she the dark ages. She's like
Old Testament Will.
She's like, I'll be home around 5 o'clock. Cook dinner for me and the kid. And I'm like, okay. And I fucking made eggs and pancakes, and the eggs are fucking purple. I'm not kidding. That's a true story.
How'd you get the eggs purple?
I don't fucking know. But they're like, I might have put something in them, like to make them taste better or something.
Blueberries?
I don't know, but they had like a blue color or purple color to them.
I don't know. I found it under the kitchen sink.
I tried to make pancakes, and she's like, "What do you mean, fucking eggs and pancakes?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah, pie's not that hard. I made 3 sweet potato pies, and that was it, though.
What about you, Omar? How was your holiday?
Relaxing. Uneventful. Just spent it with the family.
Cool. Luke?
It was fun. I went back to Michigan. I saw my...
you did. I remember that. You demanded to leave on Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve while we were understaffed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, I got to see my my newborn nephew, so that was pretty cool.
Everybody was really bummed out.
Yeah.
Not really. Like Chris and Nate were really bummed out that you just like...
Yeah, they get pretty bummed out when I leave.
Why?
I don't know why, but...
Do you think it's like they think you're their boyfriend or something?
No.
Like they're like, I mean,
not.
total, like not a gay thing, but just like you like have to be here if they're here.
I feel like that, yeah.
Like you have to be working if they're here,
yeah.
or they can't do their job without you. Something like that. It's like some weird. I mean, it's not a gay
like
thing.
A codependence kind of.
It's like a codependency thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to be here, or it ruins everything. Like Nate really gets upset.
I know.
So does Chris.
I know.
Chris was really upset.
I know. Sorry, Chris.
He doesn't watch.
I know.
He doesn't watch it in spite of it. I had a good time.
Yeah. How was your Christmas?
I played WoW most of the time.
Nice.
I played video games most of the time and handed out. Like we did Christmas a couple days early, and then we kind of did Christmas again at the house. But it was rad. I got beard trimmer, Converse.
There you go.
So you're gonna keep the beard short, or are you gonna?
I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it short.
Nice.
Like my wife, I had my teeth done. Like I did. My teeth, like they just didn't miraculously turn white. Like I had fucking my teeth done, and it's something that I wanted to do since probably 2000. Since whenever I stopped drinking, which was 2004. Like when I stopped drinking in 2004, like I realized like, ooh, your teeth are fucked up. And I've tried to hide it. Like I don't really smile ever. I didn't. Because my teeth have always been bad because I partied a lot in the 90s and the 80s and the 2000s. And my teeth got ruined in the process. And when when I started, I was like, man, if I could just get fucking teeth, I'd be so happy. And so I did it. And my wife looks at me in ways that she's never looked at me before in 12 years of marriage. Yeah. And so with the short beard and with the way she looks at me, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking keeping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get when you're married and like if your wife like looks at you a certain way, You're like, ooh, what? How the fuck how'd that happen?
Yeah, repeat that.
I got to repeat that. Like, what's the formula? You know what I mean, Eric? See, Eric's married. He knows. One day when you guys are married, you know the same thing. What do you guys think of the Sarah Adams podcast clip getting 1.8 million views on Twitter?
On Twitter? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Crazy.
Pretty good.
So some big page like took it and put it on their page, and they got 1.8 million views. Has anybody reached out to you about it?
No, I may.
Not really. No, I talked to my cousin. He's in the Navy, and he didn't really know that we do a podcast or really anything about my job. And I'm talking to him at Christmas, and I'm trying to get the drone information. What's going on with the drones? Because he's in the Navy. He has, different stuff. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I don't know. It's all, they don't tell
It's
everyone.
classified. Don't tell me.
Yeah. and then we're talking about ISIS and Al Qaeda and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, have you seen that lady on the Sean Ryan show?" And I'm like, "Oh, Sarah Adams?" And he's like, "I don't know her name, but maybe." I'm like, "Yeah, she was on our podcast," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" So I showed him, and he like blew his mind that we had the same person on.
Was your mom all proud? Did she
was-
come over and she's like, my little Lukey?
Yeah, famous Luke came home to see us.
This was at the kids table.
Why?
Well, there's the adult table and the kids table, but
And you guys are still at the kids table?
yeah, I think I was the youngest person at the kids table.
Really?
Yeah,
Is it like a pop-up table?
it is. Yeah.
Pop up Lego.
Get the fuck
table.
out of here, really? You get stuck at the fucking...
Well,
You left us on Christmas Eve to force us to work for the fucking pop-up table?
yeah.
That's so uncool, dude.
We see where we stand in Luke's life, huh?
Like, I bet you had, like, what was it? It wasn't even like a good Christmas dinner, was it?
It was
like
good. It was good. It was ham.
It was the-
lasagna.
bear, right? You guys cooked bear?
Maybe a little bit,
A
but
little bear.
bear sausage. It was good.
I got biscuits and gravy. That's my favorite food of all time, biscuits and gravy. Have you guys had it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was on my bucket list.
Was it?
Come to America bucket list.
It was not.
Biscuits and gravy.
Was it really?
It was right next to bacon. Had bacon for breakfast, biscuits and gravy for lunch. It was a great day. I remember it.
So we grew up like not like we didn't have very much money when we grew up, and like I've never had it up until 7th grade. Like I went to my friend's house, like I'd stop at his house and get him before he went to middle school, and his mom would always cook breakfast, which I thought was fucking insane because my mom never cooked breakfast. And she would be cooking every morning, and she'd feed, and there's like fucking 4 of them, and I'm like, man, she fucking feeds all these people every day. And they had like one time they had like biscuits and gravy. I thought it was so good, like the biscuits I thought were was like steak or something. I was like, well, this is the best I've ever had in my life. And I've been chasing that high ever since. What do you guys think about the New Orleans bombing?
Done check out.
Or the New Orleans, not the New Orleans Terrorist Act.
Oh,
Not the bombing.
when you said bombing, I was thinking of the
Yeah.
Vegas one. Look at his name, man.
Do you know he was here in Tampa for about a month?
Really?
That's what they said?
No, like if you check out Sarah's page, she did Sarah stuff and verified that he was in the Tampa area for I think 45 days, right before he did his thing.
I had a conspiracy theory before the Sean Ryan podcast came out about the Vegas guy that it was connected, but they fucked up and mixed the cars up. So the dude in New Orleans was supposed to get the Cybertruck because he stops right beforehand and then does a turn and starts speeding up. So he was supposed to have the Cybertruck so he can go 0 to 60 in half a second or whatever it is. And the dude who blew himself up in Vegas was supposed to have the gas car, and they just fucked it up.
That didn't work out. No.
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 Do you guys know Dick from? Do you guys know Dick? Do you guys know Nick from Dan and Offense?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was there.
In New Orleans?
He was there. Yeah, he was in a strip club.
Good for him.
Good. And his buddies were like outside looking for him, and his 2 buddies, like Moose was one of them, jumped out of the way when it went by, and one of them landed. Like one of them got blood all over him from one of the bodies on the floor.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's
Yeah, they were right there because Nick's a football fan and Georgia was playing. New
Notre Dame.
They're playing the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
You're Notre Dame fan?
No, Notre Dame. I'm Catholic.
So do you think like what do you think like the two instances of violence that we had on New Year's Day in relation to what Sarah said on the podcast?
That was kind of like the first thing I thought about when it happened, because she was saying just, 2025? And it was like, oh my God, here we go.
She did talk about Lone Wolf, though. She did talk that ISIS wanted people to do Lone Wolf attacks because it would take resources away from them looking for actual Al-Qaeda. Like, she brought that up.
Yeah, it was like, I remember I asked her, I'm like, is the Al-Qaeda attacks going to be more homegrown attacks or, foreign fighters coming in? And she said, no, ISIS does the homegrown radicalized people, and Al-Qaeda does the, foreign fighters. So I think that's exactly what happened. It was ISIS, homegrown radicalized Americans doing the violence. But
then we just moved on. Right? Like it's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
No, it's not. It's not even a thing. Like they so I think the media is learning, like if we just give all the information on the person and put them in crazy person category, it'll go away in 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? Which it did. You still can't find anything on the Trump shooter. You can't find fucking anything about the guy, but within seconds we had videos of the guy doing real estate commercials.
I really liked Colion Noir did a video, and he opens it. Yeah, he opens it with just going like, all right, guys, we've had enough. It's time for us to man up as a country and do what is required. We are banning all cars that can go over 40 miles an hour. We're instating purple flag laws
with that.
so people can take cars away if they think you're crazy. And he just starts basically turning around all the gun control arguments against cars and being... Once you hear it that way, phrased out like that, he's just saying the exact same gun control measures just for cars, and it sounds ridiculous because it is.
I think that like you definitely can't like Sarah's warning of terrorism in 2025. You can't. So if you look at it, you look at what she said on our podcast, and it's fucking scary. Like I watched myself in that clip a couple times because people kept sending it to me, and which is funny when people send you clips of yourself. You're like, wait, I know what I said. Why you sending me clip? But the warning she gives about 2025 and about the amount of terror, it almost seems like when she was here, it was scary. Like I saw myself talking and I was visibly like shaken up. Like immediately she broke into stuff and it was scary shit. You're like, what? Like I thought we were going to talk about Benghazi for like a half an hour and then get into terrorism, but she immediately opens up with scary shit, and she's just kind of nonchalant about it, and it made me like kind of verklempt, I guess the word is, where I couldn't really talk. But then like couple weeks or afterward, you're like, that's not really, it almost seems like it's not plausible. Like how could they do something like that? And then like day one, something happens, but it's our government at the time throws it in the crazy people pile. And so now you're, but what I came away with thinking is you can't take away from the fact that there's 20 million people here illegally. 10 to 20 million people, probably 20 million people here illegally. You can't take away, and the amount of bad guys that are statistically probable, the amount of bad guys that are there, right? You can't take away the fact that's real. Like that's a real thing. That's a real statistic. There's that amount of people, bad people in our, and then if you start talking about if you start adding up the violence that illegal immigrants have done in the country, like the amount of deaths that they've done. Like if you start adding those, I'd love to see how many people have died, just from that. But so, and you can't like the statistic where she gave, where she said there's 27 camps in Afghanistan. Okay, they're not those camps aren't funded and working to just play volleyball. Like they want to do something with those. So we've got that. Can our security forces or whoever our intelligence forces stop that? I don't fucking know. But but it's unrealistic because it hasn't happened since 9/11, right? So you have that, but then you have like that that's possible, but it's so far fetched that it makes it unreal. But then you also have, our government is capable of doing really shady shit. Like MK Ultra is a thing. Mind control is a thing. Like, and you have people doing like fucking somebody set somebody on fire the other day. Like people are fucking wacky. So you have that. So the government, do they do crazy shit, or whatever intel services, do they do crazy shit and make people do crazy? So that happens. And then you've got the last 8 years or so of mainstream media and social media radicalizing people, because that's basically what they've done. They've radicalized people to commit violence. And so you have all this like fucking like popcorn bag of fuckness going back and forth, and bad shit is bound to happen.
Definitely.
What were you going to say?
I was just you said can our intelligence agencies even stop it? Can they? Yes. Will they? That's the question.
It's true.
Right. Well, okay. So dig this, right? So what if, okay. So if you're the military industrial complex, right? I'd love a sponsorship, by the way.
From the military industrial
I'm
complex?
kidding. But if Halliburton came in, would we say no?
Dark Coast Podcast, sponsored by Raytheon.
NVIDIA.
That is not NVIDIA?
Don't they make like, I understand they make video cards, but I'm sure they make something for some kind of death weapon somewhere.
Leading AI technology?
Yeah, leading AI technology. I'm sure they make something.
Absolutely.
The highest bidder. So, all right. Like, dig this. If you have like the military industrial complex, right? They know, they're like, okay, guys, I think the jig is up. We're not going to be able to be in Ukraine anymore. And we're not going to be able to be in we're not going to be able to do the Israel hustle anymore. Like the whole Israel, we're going to do aid for Israel, right? Like you get billions of dollars for Israel, and the billions of dollars in aid is really just whatever company gets the bid for the missiles that go to Israel at the price that they set, right? So that little scam is going to go away. The Ukraine scam is going to go away. So what are they going to do? What if the war on terrorism starts back up? Okay, so it can't be. So Americans, we don't want anybody on the ground, right? We're done with that. We're done with troops getting hurt. We're done with fucking large. But that doesn't mean the military industrial complex will lose their ability to make money off of it. They can then switch to drones. They can then switch to arming whatever proxies we put in place in Afghanistan or other countries. They get bombs and shit like that. So it would behoove them to switch, to pivot, if you will. Like in business, you pivot. If money goes away here, you pivot, you go into something else. So they could pivot from, oh yeah, Ukraine bad. Yeah, Trump, Ukraine bad. Give back the hostages. Yeah, let an attack happen in the United States, and then all of us would go crazy and say, yeah, bomb the fuck out of them. And then they're making money again, right? So that it would behoove the government to let it happen. And maybe that's why they're doing it.
I can almost guarantee, yeah.
Maybe it's like the Japanese. Like the Japanese are 5 years ahead, right? Like they think 5 years ahead where we think tomorrow, or we think like a week or however, like in the next minute. Like the Japanese and Chinese think 5 years down the road. How do we know that this wasn't all a scam? Like they knew they had 4 years of Biden, right? They knew they could try to get someone else in. They could try, but then once they realized, or they knew that the probability of it would be not high. So they've been preparing, and they let all these people in.
Yeah.
I think some people would say it's foolish to think that your own government would do something like that. I think it's foolish to think an industry as large as war would not have either false flag operations or allowed attacks to happen so that they can get $18 trillion more of funding and these guys can make an extra $3 billion in their pockets. Like it's too big of an industry for this kind of stuff.
It's huge.
To be happening.
I mean, and think about how many times in the past that we've had, like even back, fucking what was false flag? Fucking Cuba.
Cute Bay of Pigs.
No, no. Fucking like Cuba, like the like when we got in war with Spain.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, our ship blew up. The fucking the Spanish fucking killed like the what was it called?
The
Does anyone
USS
remember?
Maine, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The USS Maine. Yeah, remember the Maine, right?
Yeah.
And I think it was the bad boiler. It was the bad boiler, right?
Well, you can kind of go to a lot of. I mean, this is going to be a hot take, but you can kind of go to a lot of American conflicts and say, I mean, you can start with World War II with
Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor saying why were they in that position? You can go to, I don't know about Korea, but you can go to Vietnam with Gulf of Tonkin. You can go, well, that was the Maine, that was in 1800s, but I mean,
like Gulf of Tonkin, then you can go to like
9/11. I mean, I don't.
Sarah said that 9/11 was real though.
Yeah, but you know,
See, there's a difference between thinking that it's not real or it was orchestrated by the government, but there's a difference between that and I personally believe we have our intelligence agencies right now are more powerful than any organization or group has ever been in the history of time on this planet, period. It is
maybe
highly improbable that nobody knew about it. I would argue there's a difference between orchestrating it and making it happen versus seeing a blip on your screen and just going, and not doing anything about it. I would tinfoil hat also extend over to, I find it very unlikely that the second largest intelligence agency in the world, Israel, would not know anything about October 7th before it happened.
Yeah, the largest,
like there's
the largest the largest surveillance system, the largest, most sophisticated surveillance system didn't know it happened.
Like the same guys had somehow planted bombs in every single one of their walkie-talkies or whatever the fuck, and they didn't know that there's 3,000 people in the street being like, dude, we're gonna fucking go over there and kill him. Like, I'm not necessarily saying
like, what about the gyro gliders? Like they could. no one saw the gyro gliders coming.
I don't think that people, our own government orchestrates attacks against their own people or anything like that. But I think it's very likely that there's somebody in a room with a computer that sees something and chooses not to act on it because not acting on it has a better outcome for them or whoever they end up working for.
Yes. What about you, Dean?
I think it's all kind of set up, especially like these latest ones. It's always something when you stare at it. It might be just staring at it too long. That doesn't really add up. And then your imagination starts going a little bit. But I think most of them are staged, to be honest with you.
And then what about the fuckery that is the Las Vegas bombing?
that's
Like, what about that? Or,
Not
I got a lot of
single part
questions.
about that lines up.
like nothing.
Yeah.
Not a
Nothing
single
with that
piece
one.
about the official narrative lines up on that.
Like, and then the Sean Ryan show, and then getting the emails, and then drones, and anti-gravitational devices.
That part's very interesting.
Like fuck. Like what? Like it's like how Joe Rogan talks about on this episode in America. It's we're better than, I mean, we're our own TV show.
When I
Yeah.
saw the gravitic propulsion systems, like it hit me like a flashbang because I watched it as soon as it came out. Somebody texted me saying, "Watch this right now," and I started watching it.
What did you watch?
The Sean Ryan show. Where
Okay.
they go over the manifesto, and the moment it goes like gravitic propulsion systems, and it just hit me like a flashbang because I'm a big fan of Bob Lazar. You know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
And he's been talking
I don't
about
know how you can be a big fan of Bob Lazar, though. I mean, I know Bob Lazar and I know his work, but
I like his story a lot. Anyways, but also, did you know this? The U.S. Navy has a patent on gravitic propulsion devices.
I didn't know
They
that.
have an active patent
I didn't know
on
that.
that exact thing. And everyone's like, it's not real. It's a crazy man. He was driven to the brink of suicide because he was a veteran and all this. And it's like, oh yeah, it's just a man who lost his mind because he was in war. They have a patent on it.
But
No more omnis for you, Omer.
You got cut off already.
my question is why? Like, I feel like if the government wanted to like put a hit on this guy, why do they make it this big production? You know, why do they put it out? Why do they do it like that?
Why'd they bumble it?
Yeah.
Why'd they use like?
It just seems like why not just hit him in the middle of the night and drop his body in the desert somewhere? Now, why make him blow him up in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas? Like, why bring all this extra scrutiny?
I think it's because he was getting word out to people. Like, and I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that he didn't take his own life or somebody else or anything like that.
But wait, hold on. What is the status of the drones? Are the drones still up there?
Oh yeah.
They're still in New Jersey, just fucking hanging out, having pizza.
The last thing we heard was Biden said, "It's nothing to be concerned about. Apparently, nothing malicious. Apparently, that's
They're
the last
still
thing we heard.
They're still out there, and are they growing? And what's the fucking plasma bubbles or some shit? You know about that?
No.
Oh God, like yeah, go. That's another fucking thing. Like Lori, my wife knows all about it. Like there's like plasma, like fucking occurrences, abnormal. Like what do they call stuff like that in Star Trek? Like there's anomalies, just plasma fucking like floating like those goddamn things in WoW. Mm-hmm. You know how like in WoW, like you're flying around and you can hit those things and you get shit. There's like that shit, like all over the place.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's
Holy crap.
it's funny. And oh wait, and like why did the news just stop talking about the drones?
Yeah.
Like so there's right there's active drones that may or may not be Chinese flying over New Jersey, right? New Jersey of all fucking places, right? New Jersey.
But they don't look like any like military drones. When I looked those up, they just are consumer drones.
No, that's not true. No one's seen one. No one's really gotten close to one. Like we know they're as big as in places as a SUV, but if you get close to one, they fucking dip.
I think the second that it became like a big story, people started sending up their own hobbyist drones, and then other people on the ground started taking a picture of literally anything in the air, being like, "Here's drones." I don't think every picture you see of what people are calling the weird drones are actually that.
Well, because they're at night.
I would argue that it's just a lot of people want to take advantage of it being a hot topic and send their own drones up or take pictures of literally anything and post about it. But the original reports of it being like they're traveling in ways that even the Navy can't track and stuff like that, that's the main meat and the bones.
They were traveling when a Navy couldn't track. Were they going fast or something?
Yeah, like
they have like anti-gravitate, like they allegedly like they have. I don't know for sure, but like on the Sean Ryan show, they said that a cop tried to catch one and sent their drone up there, and it was so fast it dipped. It ran like with anti-gravitational, and then that's what this guy's talking about.
I think it's, again, some people say it's foolish to think the government has, things that we don't know of, technology that we don't know of. I think it's very foolish to think otherwise, considering that they just brought out a helicopter that was never once declassified to kill bin Laden.
Yeah.
Like that, not a single even report or rumor about that helicopter existed. And then they were just like, hey, we need to get to this compound and at night, and we got to make sure we don't get detected by radar or anything. And they're like, oh yeah, we have this helicopter over here that's like, all panelly and stealth and shit. Yeah,
there's a couple of them. Here, have them.
Yeah. Like there's got to be a warehouse somewhere with so much shit that my video game brain could even dream of.
That'd be wild.
And what the fuck is up with Biden? Like, how many terrorists did he release yesterday? Like,
I didn't even hear about that.
Oh, he released like something ridiculous, like 8 to 12. I saw 8 one time and I saw 12 another time. Terrorists from like Al Qaeda terrorists involved with a 9/11 thing. He released him yesterday from Gitmo.
Release them back into the States or send them back home?
I mean, anything's possible, but I would assume sending him back home. Hi, why don't you go to New Jersey? There's drones over there. That's kind of good.
Like you said,
there's really good pizza.
11 suspected terrorists released from Guantanamo Bay to Oman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know anything about that.
Like he's just doing some really funky shit. Like, so he released, he's given billions away to Ukraine. He's releasing terrorists. He's,
Clinton and Soros got the
Medal fucking George Soros. Like George Soros got the Medal of Freedom. So you know what George Soros is?
No.
So George Soros is like this mysterious, like evil billionaire, or allegedly, like he's like this evil, like he's almost like a comic book character, evil genius guy who allegedly funds everything bad if you're even the least bit conservative. Like he's allegedly he's a billionaire hedge fund manager who funds everything, like the bricks, the bricks that they found during the riots. It was all supposed to be from George Soros. Everything bad in the world, George Soros has done.
Almost every district attorney in these blue states that let criminals go
funded by George
Soros.
Yeah.
Wow.
Elon Musk's take on George Soros, he talked about this way before this political climate we're in now. This was a while ago, but he basically talked about on a stage somewhere, I don't remember exactly where, he says, we have genuine enemies of humanity that live among us, like George Soros, where these people just, whether it's because of childhood trauma or whatever, however they grew up or whatever, genuinely just dislike humanity and will use their vast resources to affect humanity negatively. And in his mind, George Soros is one of these people who's intentionally doing this, intentionally making DAs let criminals go so more people are victims of crimes in cities because he fucking hates them. Just hates humans overall.
I don't think that.
I
don't think it. I don't think he hates humans.
Well, I mean, just imagine you're bullied your entire life. You know, you've never shown love. Every woman you've trusted has left you. Whatever the fuck his backstory might be, I find it very plausible that a person can grow up in a way that leads them to hate just all people. Because I mean, I know people who hate people. Thank God they work at fucking McDonald's and don't have billions of dollars, but God forbid they get their hands on billions of dollars.
He has children, though.
So?
Usually if you have children, you don't hate people. You love your children.
I'm sure he could love his children, but I don't think that excludes him from...
Anyway, so there's this evil genius, allegedly, that hates everybody, who got named George Soros, who everybody knows except Dean, and Biden gave him, along with Hillary Clinton, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest award to get as a civilian. I think he gave like Ralph Lauren one too. Denzel Washington.
Marty McFly.
He gave Marty McFly.
Marty McFly.
Yeah, he gave, what's his name? Matthew, what's his name?
I don't remember.
Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking bizarre. And then he let the Chinese spies go. And then he let guys who are guilty of child
CP.
He let CP offenders go.
COD points.
Like all that. You think it's so? Is it possible for Biden to be like a lizard person, a Satanist, really, or is he a Chinese asset?
I think he's done with his career.
But no, how do you let fucking 11 terrorists go?
Favors for favors. Somebody did him a favor. He did them a favor. I don't think he even asked questions.
Just a puppet.
I think he's at this point where it's like, it doesn't matter what the hell happens to him. He's old. He served as president. He served as vice president. He is not going to be president again. Like, from his standpoint, it's just chill until you die. And if there is somebody that comes up to him and tells him, hey, you do this favor for me, I'll do this favor for you. I'm sure that's what he's dealt with his entire life because he's been in politics his whole life. He's a career politician. That's how it works. He's just more lenient on what he's willing to do because he doesn't have to worry about re-election or his public image that much anymore. And
so you don't think he's a Chinese asset?
He said numerous times he doesn't care about his legacy, that legacy is not something that's super important to him. I think favors for favors. That's my belief.
Okay, so you're conspiracy king, Luke. What do you think?
I think he's not even doing this. It's just, people in the...
It's George Soros.
Yeah. Just they grab his non-moving hand and sign this.
Yeah, he's a puppet. That's what I think.
What about you, Dean?
I think he's a puppet. Someone's controlling him.
Yeah.
There's just too much stupid things and hate toward his own country to be doing this on his own to me.
Yeah, you'll get ice cream after you sign these
he's
papers.
getting something for all this dumb shit.
What's the most far out thing you think can happen this year in 2025?
Exactly what Sarah said. Multiple attacks
Multiple
at the
attacks.
same time that completely drain out first responders and all law enforcement, and you're left to yourself and your community that you've hopefully built.
What about you, Luke?
I think it's something to do with China. If it's China taking over Taiwan or trying to take Taiwan, or, you know, them getting caught, even worse, you know, trying to do stuff over here.
What about you, Dean?
World War III.
I think it's very plausible. Because, I mean,
What do you think gun sales would be like in World War III? Do you think everybody would arm? What do you know? I'm serious. Do you think people would arm up, or what do you think? Fuck, all the guys would leave.
Leading up to it, yeah. And then, yeah, everyone would just be gone, and God knows how that would look afterwards. Hopefully we never get to see.
you got to think about there were high-ranking military officials during Trump's first term who were actively plotting against him, lying to him, keeping secrets from him, and trying their best to sabotage his presidency. I don't think those specific people might have left, but I think that still exists to a certain extent. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that they do literally anything to either tarnish his image or prevent him from uncovering certain things. I don't think anything's out of the question when it comes to what they will do to prevent Trump from doing Trump things.
The most far out thing I can think of is an alien coming out of the water in Siesta Key and eating a tourist and it being caught on camera. That would be the absolute fucking best if an alien just came out, and not like, not like a family and kids, just like came out and like some annoying person just walked out and fucking ate them. Like just picked like that, like it made like a dog sound, fucking starts chomping them and someone's filming it, right? No one's helping, of course, because there's nothing but kids out there playing volleyball. Like one of my daughters is just filming it. Oh my God, bro. And then it comes the race of like, what do you buy to defend yourself against the alien?
6.5 Creedmoor gas gun.
Then it would be the 8.6.
8.6 is a good idea.
Yeah.
Good
Honey badger all day.
blaster.
Oh, I get to go up there.
Yeah?
Yeah, I get to go. They want me, like they phoned me the other day and said, we want you and your wife to come up and you've got to set a date and pick the guns you want. I want the boombox and 6.5.
Nice.
I'm going to build that. But they want me you're supposed to build a gun, and I know that probably excites you guys, but it doesn't excite me. I want to have lunch. You know what I mean? I want to have lunch. I want to like examine their building and look at their operation and see how they do it, and just absorb the information, enjoy my free time. I don't want to build a gun. What if I fuck up the gas block? You know what I mean?
You try to send it back. They're like, no, you built it.
Exactly.
Yeah, this thing's not warranted.
Exactly. Have you guys prepared for SHOT Show?
I did everything I need to do, so I'm going to say a solid yes. But
No, what about you, Luke? Have you?
Yep.
Guys,
I'm preparing.
Do you have your clothes ready?
I do have my clothes ready.
that's a lie.
I did ask Dean, I'm like, what am I supposed to wear in SHOT Show?
Did you really?
But yeah.
You get to wear whatever you like.
All right, cool.
Because you mean it's preferable if you have something with the Shark Coast on it.
Yeah.
Like I think,
course.
but I think even Spooky might make us some shirts. It might be a good idea, like if you have time, like you have just enough time to like ask Spooky to make you clothes, and make you like. But we have no graphic. We could steal the graphic from last year. Remember, like weren't we using the different T-shirt company last year?
Yeah.
So we could steal that graphic and put 2025 on it, and then print it on Spooky shirts. They'll be better because the shirts fucking last year are nowhere near as good as Spooky's. You can just wear those every day. But realistically, you're going to be wearing a hoodie the whole time.
Yeah,
Because it's chilly.
Yeah.
So what was your favorite gun for 2024? What was your favorite gun or suppressor? Like, what was your favorite release? Let's start with Dean.
Oh, I got to think about it. I don't
You
really
got to pass?
have one. Yeah.
All right, Luke. Say it.
The Ruger RXM.
No, it's not.
Why?
It's up. It's cool. It's up there.
Really?
But favorite for 2024?
I also like the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. That was a cool gun.
Not that many came out this year, did they?
Not really.
I can't really think of any.
Like the Staccato C came out.
Yeah, the Staccato seems pretty cool.
The Staccato C full size is cool.
Yeah.
Like the full size is cool. Like the thing about the Staccato C was
Fuck.
what?
Chapo just bit me for betting Banshee.
Yeah, dude. He's dude. He'll
You did?
did he bite you hard?
That's fine.
Yeah, he thinks it sucks, dude. It sucks having animals in heat.
Yours, dog.
You think so? He bit Duke in the face the other day.
Jesus.
Like Duke was walking and he like looked at her butt and he fucking bit him right in the face.
Hey. What the fuck is
Hey, what are you doing? Stop.
Like, don't pet my Banshee.
Stop it. Here. Fucking up my flow.
So the Ruger RXM, that's your favorite?
I really can't think of anything that came out that was cool
Yeah,
this year.
so help me. Like, did how many like? So you had the Staccato C, right? Come out in the beginning of the year. Like that launched in last December because people were asking for it now, and they arrived in June. The first ones we got were the small ones.
Yep.
And so I looked at it and I was like, "Yeah, this is fucking stupid." But then like the big ones came in, and the big ones like you understand. You're like, "Oh, the grip isn't fatty. Like it fits way better in your hand." And you're like, "Oh, this fucking feels amazing." But what else came out this year that was mind blowing? Like what else fucking came out?
The Danny H9 came out.
What did you think of that?
That's cool.
Like you reviewed it when you thought it was.
I did. I still think it's kind of a... I don't know what the word for it is. It sits in a weird place where it's a very niche market. It's not mass appealing to people. It's like... It's either for people who already love Daniel Defense, who want a handgun from Daniel Defense, or people who really love the Hudson H9 and wants it to be better. But outside of that, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a very, very niche handgun. I personally liked it, but it's not like a mass appeal. I can see this being the bestseller or anything like that.
I think that I'm not sure what they did. I'm not sure what they were thinking of it. I know from, I mean, I look at firearms from like a marketability standpoint, and it's just not, it's not a barn burner. You know what I mean? Like a barn burner would have been them building in 1911. That would have been a barn burner. You know, it like just them just pulling a Springfield and trying to build a Prodigy. Because you know they could do it. Like they don't build shit. But the PCC seems to be, people seem to like that. But what was your favorite this year?
If the Magpul Zev, the FDP9 or whatever they call it, the FMG9, the folding gun came out, I would have said that.
Yeah, it never came out.
The 1301 Mod 2 came out this year. That was a good one.
But it's just the Mod 1.
No, it's got enough changes, I think.
What change? All right, so I'm sorry, you like the Beretta?
I like the Beretta. The Bodyguard 2 I really like that gun. That's the only one from this list I've actually spent money on. So I like the Bodyguard 2. That Watchtower Apache came out. I'm not a big fan of that one.
Have you shot it?
Yeah. Kevin's got it.
Is it better than the Staccato?
No.
It's not, is it?
No.
No, it looks as cool, but it's not. It's like
It's not nearly as smooth. You can't even air rack it.
Well, I can't interact my Staccato. I've never like practiced and tried. I didn't think it was like a thing.
Yeah, it hasn't been a super eventful year. I'm hoping companies are saving a lot of the good stuff for SHOT Show. I'm hoping that next week when we have this conversation, it'll be different.
Ruger came out with a ton of shit. Well, they have 3 different versions of their 308, or not their RPR, the Ruger Precision Rifle. They have 3 different modified or tricked out versions. They have a bunch of 1022s coming out. They have the RXM9. They came out blazing.
Smith did a bunch of stuff, but I feel like
Everything.
not a lot of it took off. I feel like it was a bunch. Like the Bodyguard 2 was, I think, the biggest one. Other than that, like they came out with that PCC, the response.
It sells okay. Just, I mean, I think the PCC, the response is the victim of, number one, it's too long for our shop. Like everybody here shoots short things, and it's not cool enough. Like our shop is victims of we're victims of our sales guys sell the trendy stuff. Like they like staccatos and cool shit and et cetera, but like, and I think our clientele does too. And the response isn't, although it's a good platform, it's not that cool. I think the best thing that I saw this year was the Hux 22 can, especially like from marketability, sellability, the whole concept of it, like the 22, like a 22 Ti can for sub 400 is amazing. And I think like the whole idea, like, so, I mean, I've been shooting suppressors for, since you're in grade school, young man. But I've been shooting 22 suppressors for a long time, and to have a suppressor that doesn't need 22 subsonic was amazing. And you being able to shoot fast with a 22 suppressor is amazing.
What prevented you from doing that with other ones?
It doesn't work. Like if you take it does with the TX22 kinda. But you need subsonic like if you take a 1022 and go bing 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 with a regular suppressor, it'll jam. You cannot shoot fast.
Interesting. I never had a 1022. My Taurus works great. Weird to say that. That felt weird coming out. My Taurus works great.
It does.
All 4 rounds I've put through it, only 2 jams.
What else came out this year?
And I think I'm a big fan of I think like the Flux 22 should win an award.
You really like that thing.
I think it's a game changer, man. It really is. And I think that the Flux Legion is a game changer. Although you have to add $1,500 to it to get it to how you want it. You know what I mean? Like if you take the Flux and change the slide and add the optic, you've got to add $2,000 to it, but once you do that, it's pretty badass. So it's $3,000 PCC, but I'm gonna die here.
The Flux was cool. I guess that probably been the coolest thing I think that came out.
Yeah.
That looked cool. I didn't get to shoot one, but that one looked cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll die one day, probably like behind my desk on the computer ordering shit. I'll just fucking have a heart attack and die. So I have no problem spending $3,000 on a PCC. I have no problem doing that because it's. But other people like you got to spend a lot of money to get that Flux to work.
Yeah,
just you can run it out of the box with a shitty red dot and not have a suppressor. But what the fun is that? Like you've got to put an acro on there, which is 675. You got to put a mount with the acro, and you've got to change the slide and add a threaded barrel to it in order to get it to where you want it.
You're thinking super Gucci. That thing runs out of the box.
I know it runs out of the box.
You want it?
Who runs? Yeah, but who shoots guns without suppressors?
A lot of people.
Why?
9mm sub guns though. I feel like.
I mean, the whole concept of that gun is to be small. You're adding a bunch of stuff to it. Like I feel like if there's any gun we're going to be talking about shooting unsuppressed, the
Flux.
The Flux is because it's a handgun.
I can see that.
Was it one of your favorites testing this year?
I really love the concept of that thing because I've always been anti.
Sick.
No, I've always been anti like PCC for a small gun because they don't get small enough to warrant it. Like you can get a 300 blackout or even a 5.56 if you're a madman for the same amount of money for the same amount of size. That thing is significantly smaller than any carbine you could have, and there's a holster for it. Like I think that's a game changer. I really did enjoy it. As far as innovation goes, I think the Flux is up there.
How do you like the Flux against the TP9? Because it's kind of the same. PDW.
It's completely different.
Really?
Yeah. No. Are you talking to Omer or to me?
Both of you guys. I mean, anybody.
So the TP9 it can get a little gassy.
Right.
Like the can is not true low back pressure from what I've seen. I talked to the B&T guys about it, and because they came out with their can, it's the RBS system, and it's the same can. They just renamed it, rebranded it. So I said to them, mine doesn't do that. Mine is not like I get gas in my face when I shoot it a lot, and they're like, run some water through the holes. Yeah, that's what they said.
Not even Vaseline. They said water.
They said are the hole? They said, did you poke through the holes? Is it like they said like run water through the holes or some shit?
Interesting.
Like they didn't say like send the can back, something's wrong. They didn't say try another one. They just said like
They said our cans holes that make it less gassy get blocked up, so you have to run water through them.
something like that. I don't know. Maybe we should bring them in for a talk.
Yeah.
But the TP9 is a different thing. Like it's a I would say, man, I think the Flux is better. I know it's bold. Like the TP9 looks fucking cooler, but the Flux is like, as far as performance is concerned, like I was doing well at 75 yards with the fuck, what's it called? The
Acro?
No, with the Acro and with the Q can.
Okay.
Erector.
The Erector. You know, some guy, I was trying to sell him the Erector the other day. He's like, that looks like a goddamn dildo.
I wonder why they call it that.
this dude, like, he was kind of an older guy, and he's like, that looks like a goddamn dildo. And he fucking, whoa, man. It's like, all right, oh, sure.
It's happened on 2 separate occasions now where I was wearing my Q shirt and somebody goes, "Not a QAnon shirt?" And I go, "No, Q, the gun company." And they go, "There's a gun company named Q?" And I go, "Yeah." "What do they make?" "Let's see, they make the Thunder Chicken, the Trash Panda." And they're like, "You're making that up." I'm like, "No, they make the Erector, they make the Honey Badger." And they're like, "What? You're just saying words."
You're just making shit up. So now that SHOT Show is a week away. Like we leave like in a week and 3 days. What do you guys want? Like, what have you guys thought about what you want to do when you're there? What do you want to do besides go to the Spearmint Rhino? You know Frank's going to take you.
Yeah?
Oh, I'm sure he's been saving his pennies to take you and Luke to the Spearmint Rhino. That guy loves fucking strip bars. Loves them.
Good for him. Good man. I really just want to meet more people in the industry that I didn't know when I got to go last time. I'd love to meet them, get a picture with them, ask them a couple questions. I want to go to, if possible, if I actually get to walk around the booths, there's a few companies I want to go to ask a few things.
Okay, you know we're going to need you to work though.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm saying if I get the opportunity to. There's a lot of, I like this industry a lot. I want to get in touch with more people in it.
What about you, Luke?
I just want to sell as many Shark Coast products as I can. That's it. That's why we're going. That's what we're going to do. No, I just want to experience it. I've never been, so I'm excited to. You know,
we do get to go to the Daniel shoot from 8 until 12, and they're going to serve barbecue. That happens. We definitely have tickets to that, and then we have tickets to the range day for SHOT too. We get to do both of those. So that, and then we get to go to the Daniel dinner. We have that too.
They got an open bar.
Nice.
They do. They've opened a bar.
It's nice.
And apparently nobody fucking tips them.
Really?
Last time I went, I tipped the guy $20 and he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "What do you mean, really?" Yeah.
Really? I think that the interesting thing, like people don't see is like the SHOT Show behind the scenes. Like we lost the crates last year. What happens? Like, do you not answer the phone on purpose when I call you when I can't find shit?
I'm sleeping.
So if bad things happen on the road, it's kind of Dean's fault. And
Definitely not.
I've got to call Dean.
The fuck, Dean?
Dean, the fucking crate. Like, so we lost the crates were lost in the crate graveyard we got them back at 10. Like, SHOT Show ends at like 5. And we got them back at 10 o'clock. And
lost them.
They lost them. Yeah, they couldn't find them. They couldn't find any of them. And then it's such a fucking nightmare. Like it seems like it's you know, for the person that goes, it's truly like a cool kind of magical experience. Like if you're just going there as a dealer, it's really kind of cool. Like if you can go there and just spend time and be a dealer and just walk around and do it. It's really kind of cool and magical, but if you're working, it's a fucking grind. Like it's you get there at like you got to get to your booth at 7, right? And the time difference, so it's all fucked up. You're all fucking wacky. And if you want to go to the gym, you got to get up at 5. And then you've got to work until 5. You know, depending upon how busy you are, you can't leave the booth. You've got to eat. You got to eat their shitty food. Like their food, like sucks. You got to eat their food. You can't bring their food in. You know that's what happened with 6 Hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they got in a big fight because, like, Sig and Shot Show got in a big fight because they brought in breakfast on the first day for everybody.
But the year I went, who made those? There's like sliders going around. I don't remember what booth did those. They were cooking hamburgers.
The only thing you remember about Shot Show is someone gave you free hamburgers.
No, I actually didn't get any. I thought it was you or Steve that told me they were handing them out, but they were handing them out because there was like another company had kegs in their booth. And,
that's Dead Air.
And then someone had sliders or something.
The amount of like, so people do party down. Like Dead Air has a keg. They have kegs and bottles in the back, and Dead Air drinks. And like the everybody I know there drinks except me and Laura.
They did cookies,
right?
Yeah, they did chocolate chip cookies. They were baking them right there in the middle around all the
HK.
Yeah.
So there were some freaky deaky German guys, like
two ladies.
two freaky deaky German ladies.
Yes, they
cooking.
rolled out a little cart, had a little like oven on. They're just making cookies, like sheet after sheet, as people were taking them. You don't remember that?
No, seriously, Luke. What do you want to do when you're there?
I want to hang out with my coworkers. That'll be fun. You know, like not during the show, like at night.
You want to? So you admit you want to go with Frank to the Spearmint Rhino?
I cannot confirm or deny that I want to go to the Spearmint Rhino, but
so there's allegedly there's like a real seedy place, across town. It's far, and the Dead Air people go there. And they get home at like 4 a.m. Like it's crazy. And I asked them to take you.
nice. I can hang.
Well, I bet you can hang. What, the Michigan people can hang?
I can hang.
I don't know about all that.
We'll see.
What do you guys think about the Zuckerberg thing?
Great.
Great?
It's a Trump effect.
I think he's fucking evil, dude.
Sure, yeah, I feel like most people in that position are, but he's at least owning up to what he did and changing things. I think that's a positive.
I just want
in the
our
right direction, right?
Yeah.
I just want our account back. So we had a like, so I started growing. So in 2011, I made my Shark Coast Tactical Facebook page, and I grew it to 150-ish thousand people, and they banned it last January. They nuked it, and I haven't been able to get it back since. And I would just like it back. I would like that back. And like, oh my god, there's so many. Like, it took me years to make it that big, and they just fucking took it away from me.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time. Think of all the live videos.
Oh my god,
So much time and
and now we have like a page with 1,000 people.
You think you'll get it back just because all these changes?
You know, High Point lost their page, and all they're mad at us for the picture I posted. Do you know they got mad at us?
For the Luigi pick?
Oh yeah. I got text from High Point. That's not funny. I'm like, it's very funny. What are you talking about? No, it's not. It's not funny at all. It's fucking very funny. What are you talking about? It's hilarious. And he's like, why would you do that? I'm like, it's marketing. No, it's not. Marketing is taking pictures of your product and with the intention of selling it at some point. I'm like, no, marketing is, there's soft marketing, there's hard marketing, whatever. It's marketing. No, but they got their page taken down, and they sent me information of somebody who got it put back up.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, so there's somebody they know on the inside who can help, and hopefully Eric, our podcast guy, will take it upon himself in his free time to help us. But God, if we could get it back and then get our reach back, oh man, it immediately like hurt. It immediately dropped our business by maybe 7 to 10%. Immediately when it happened. Like, it happened on Dead Air weekend. Like that, the Dead Air weekend it started Friday and it fucking happened on Wednesday. So I couldn't advertise at all. And it just fucking killed us. But them's the breaks, man. It's all fair in love and war. What do you guys think of the Glock Acro?
Oh,
I didn't get to see it.
Oh, God.
I keep hearing
Koa.
about it.
I'm so excited. The Koa.
Oh, God.
You sure it's going to be called the Koa?
It is canonically called the Koa.
Okay.
It's
Aim
not
point.
called the COA.
Nope.
Yeah.
Aim point called the Koa. That's what it's called.
So what's new about it? Is it just a new optic that fits on a Glock?
No, it's a brand new optic that they made. It is like what an Acro should have been from the very beginning. They've slimmed down the actual housing of the
So
optic.
it's not an aim point.
It is an
is
aim
an aim
point.
point.
It is not an Acro. It is a brand new optic. It's still an enclosed emitter, but it is way smaller than the Acro. But the window size, it even looks a little bit larger. So they made the window bigger, but the actual optic itself smaller, and they thinned it down so they can fit on slimline Glocks like 43Xs and stuff. And they made a brand new proprietary cut for it called the A cut. Right now, they're only offering it on Glocks. They partnered with Glock for it, so you have to buy a Glock that comes with the Koa to get it, and it won't fit on any other gun. But I'm sure people will start cutting A cuts into their guns very soon.
They have agreements with a bunch of other companies, though.
Yeah.
Like there's there's the Walther fucking aim point.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a bunch of different. They're never in stock. I've never seen them, but there's a bunch of different. They've been doing this for a while, and then you have B&T too.
Regardless, on Saturday, I came in here and I bought an Aimpoint P2, and then on Tuesday, they announced a brand new Aimpoint Red Dot that is arguably better than the Acro P2.
Yeah, I did it too.
Yeah, but it's
I already did it, and then they went and like, we're gonna put it out.
it's going to be the durability of that thing, with aim point, all that behind it, but it is significantly smaller, significantly lighter, and the actual window size either the same or ever so slightly larger. I think it's going to be a big deal
You
because
get a smaller bezel on it and a bigger window.
Do we have any idea the recommended MSRP?
I don't think they've announced any of that.
Here's my like issue with it. Like, so great, we'll sell everyone that comes into the store until you can get a lot of them. Like they'll all sell. People will buy them. Like people bought all of the ones that we came out. Like we had the one for the FBI overrun. Remember those?
Yeah.
We had those for a while. And the Acro is a better optic. We know that. We know the Acro is the best optic. It seems to be. It's definitely better for me. Like I'm better with the Acro than I am with anything else.
Really?
Oh yeah. On a handgun? Absolutely.
All right.
What do you think? I just put them all on my guns because it's cool?
Well, they're durable.
No, I'm better with it. Like it's definitely like when I so when I was shooting, I would shoot my staccatos with. So I saw somebody come in and have them on staccatos, and I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking neat. You can put them on staccatos, and then I would shoot and I like fucking Holosun, and I was shooting Holosuns on staccatos, and every so often you would be ding 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 ding, and then we'd go over here, and I was always like, why does it do that? And then I would check to see if it was zeroed, and then I put an Acro on, and I was like, whoa, big difference, at least for me. And I'm not you shooting. I'm fucking fuddy old 53-year-old Will Meade, but it was a noticeable difference. At least I thought it was. So I understand like how good the Acro is, but what is Glock doing it because they want to be relevant? Are they doing it because they want to do something cool? Why are they doing it? And if they're doing it to be relevant, like if they're doing it to increase the sport, increase the marketability of Glock, then that's not like, that's more of a media campaign you want to do. You know what I mean? Like make like, so Glock is kind of it's not like a real friendly brand. Like people aren't like people don't get warm and fuzzy. Like people don't like, all right, like SIG. SIG is like, people are die hard fucking SIG people. Die hard SIG. They fucking plan their trips, to go there, to go to their academy. Like you have rich dudes who plan trips to go to their academy to shoot. Like people like, and Staccato's the same thing. Like the brand loyalty of Staccato is the thing. Like I would say, like if that's like, I kind of want to know, like why are you doing this? Okay, if you're doing it to be relevant, because everybody's putting fucking acros on your guns. You notice that, okay, cool, and they came out with that. Or is it because of military contracts? Is it because what people wanted? Like, where does it come from? But it looks like they are trying to stay relevant. And if they're trying to stay relevant, then you don't need to put acros on your gun. You need a brand reworking. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you need like Glock is traditionally fucking crusty, hardcore, ex-military, ex-police. It's not a real friendly brand. Like it's just like you get Glock, that's it. Like it's, you know, that needs to be reworked. You know, like the branding, which encompasses social media, media campaigns, like to have like so kids come in. So big wigs at companies need to pay people like Eric, right? Media people, they need to pay media people to create whatever magic they need to create in order for Omar's generation to come in and ask for Glock. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's what, that doesn't make sense.
I disagree with it.
Okay. Well, your generation is not coming in and buying Glocks. And putting a fucking acro on it is not going to make your generation come in and maybe because the only reason it'll increase sales is because the gun store people know how good the acro is. Like in my store, everybody knows how good the acro is. If a Glock comes in with and if it gets tested and it works just like the regular acro, then then it's going to be a barn burner. But that's like it in order for the brand to to compete with the Staccatos, the SIGs, fucking Ruger. You know, in order for them to compete with Ruger, you need to okay. So Ruger is fucking coming right after them, right? And they're going to lose market share, right? But and how do you increase your market share? You increase your market share by paying people like Eric to come up with great media campaigns and to increase your brand awareness and be friendly. You understand what I'm saying? Create loyalty, and loyalty is not created by putting an acro on a gun.
Couldn't disagree more.
I'm sorry. What do you think?
First of all, I don't think you mentioned like, oh, Staccato's super loyal to their brand. SIG's very loyal to. I don't think there's a more loyal base than Glock shooters. Okay, every Glock shooter will tell you that Glock is the only handgun you should ever own, and it is the only handgun that they own and they will ever shoot and whatnot. I think Glock's already got a very, very loyal fan base. I mean, it's the most popular handgun on the planet.
That's not. But the loyal fan base is not going to grow your fan base. The loyal fan base is not going to grow your brand.
But Glock people are like ex-military, I think Glock is everybody. Glock is like,
no, I'm talking
it's become a second word for gun. Like it's pretty much interchangeable.
When I say ex-police, ex-military, I mean the people who work there.
Well, I get that, but it's like that's what to me. What you're asking is like telling Post-it to make things that aren't Post-its. Like make something other than a Post-it.
I'm not saying make anything. Yeah. I say the gun's fucking perfect.
Yeah, exactly. But that's my take.
I don't think you need to make anything. That's my the thing is the gun. All right. So but the problem is okay. How do I get people? Like you don't see people don't come in and go right to the Glock fucking cabinet anymore. They come go right to SIGs
because they want ooh shiny. But at the end of the day, anybody who's taking it seriously is likely going to be buying Glock.
And how do you get someone to take something more seriously?
That goes into the whole shooting sport, either sports shooting or defensive shooting. And Glock does that. They have the GSSF. They have the Glock Shooting Foundation, whose entire goal it is to get people into shooting, into competitive style shooting, into more defensive style shooting. The way you grow Glock is not by growing Glock the brand. It's by growing the firearms community and the serious firearms community.
Okay, which would be competition.
Not just competition, but overall.
How many people? The match that's going on Saturday, how many people are shooting Glocks?
Depends on the division. Not a lot of them, probably.
Not a lot.
But because there are better shooting guns, but you sacrifice reliability for it. Glock's entire thing, they've never gone out and said we make the best shooting gun, or we make the best trigger out there, or we make the best competition gun out there. They just make the best gun because it works every goddamn time, and every Glock you will pull out of a box will work every goddamn time.
What am I carrying?
A Glock.
Right. And I'm with you. What have I I've had Glock has fed my family for 10 years. Right? I'm the biggest I'm the biggest fan as you can see. All I'm saying is I know what grows customers.
I think Glock.
I want them to grow customers and to better compete. And to better compete, you need to be up your game with marketing.
I agree 100% with you, Will. I work on the sales floor a lot, and when you see new shooters, I'm talking about people who are coming in to buy their first gun. I've noticed a lot in probably the past year, people coming in and saying, "Oh, I've heard about these few guns." It's usually the SIG, the Reflex, the M&P. They don't really talk about the Glock.
Like, okay, so here, nobody should ever come in and ask for a fucking Shield Plus. Right?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know how many people come in and ask for a Shield Plus?
Sure, a lot.
Why is that? It's because to me, it's a failure of their marketing.
Right.
Like, so Smith and Wesson has done a better job marketing to people to where people are asking for the fucking Shield Plus. Are you out of your mind? I mean,
Talking about.
I mean, no offense to Smith and Wesson. I mean, but we just don't sell this. I mean, it's just not a handgun that we would ever suggest to anybody ever. It's like you buy a Glock, you buy a SIG, you buy Staccato here. But even like people, it's amazing because people will go. I don't know what it is, but people will, like, you have first time shooters. You can sell them Staccatos. Like, it's, I don't know what it is, right? It's like the whole reason why I hired Eric, right? Because I don't know how to do what Eric does. Eric can make my business better because he's a media guy. And I can recognize, okay, I've got to do something to help my business grow and be relevant. And I see like their marketing, which is okay. Like their commercial today, their thing today was great with the thing. Like it showed everybody. But what I'm saying is Glock is just not that friendly of a brand, or it's like they just don't give a shit about people.
I think it's because all they sell is a Glock, and that has not changed for as long as Glock has existed. What you're talking about of them having to make new marketing stuff would include them coming out with something, a new shiny feature that they can do that marketing campaign on, but that's not their brand. Their brand is Glock is perfection. We will sell you a Glock. You know what a Glock is. We don't have to tell you what a Glock is.
Right. So, great, you know that, and Luke knows that, and Dean knows that, but the new shooter who's coming in does not know that, and it is their job to get people to know that. I'm with you, brother. I'm 100%. I'm with you.
Like what?
But it's not their, like, fuck, like even so here's something crazy. So even like Mark Pizzella is a trainer that we have who's from Sarasota, and his people, even in the fucking last year, his people are still like, okay, so 2 years ago, any trainer would send people in here, Glock 43X every time. And now people come in, I'd like to look at the VP9. I'd like to look at I'd like to look at the Staccato. I'd like to look at the SIG. They would never do that before, ever. It was only this. And I think that is because of their marketing. And marketing just means it is your job as a company to get the new buyer to think of you when they're going out looking for a handgun. It doesn't matter that you're right. Like, you're right. It's the best fucking handgun for the money that you get, hands down. It works every time. What is the most important thing in a self-defense situation? For your handgun to work. You know, 100% of the time, if you don't fuck with the trigger, if you leave it stock, even if you had a trigger shoe on, it'll work 100% of the time. It'll defend you. Fuck, you can have that thing buried like in the Mad Max movie. It'll still fucking work. But that doesn't, your knowledge of being a gun person does not translate into new people. New people need Instagram and fucking different social media podcasts, shit like that, to help educate them on things. And sometimes it's just a fucking TV show. Like how many people fucking have bought spears because of those the fucking spears on the Lioness show? You know, it's marketing, and it sucks because, like, oh, yeah, I'm paying to do this. Like, if you want to grow your brand, it's what you do.
Yeah, like look at Q. They put the honey badger in Call of Duty, and it took off.
Yeah, look at you.
I'm pretty sure that was pre-Q. I think the honey badger happened in the game before Q was even a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure he did that for a reason. I mean, he didn't do that. He just. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? It's a hot.
I get what you're saying, and I mean, I'm exaggerating for content, of course, but genuinely, I believe there is not much marketing to do on a Glock simply because it is a Glock. You don't have to tell people to go and buy Kleenex. You just tell people to go and buy a tissue, and they will go and likely buy a Kleenex. Are there other brands that might come up with some fancy things on the box that might?
I think you're wrong there, though, because how would they know Kleenex?
How would they know?
Are they going to go in there and they're going to see all that stuff and most likely grab the cheapest one?
Yeah, but people aren't doing research about
what
Kleenex. Like,
oh yeah,
I think, for example, like people come in here and they have the idea. I want to buy a handgun for myself to carry around. They go online, they go on YouTube, they watch videos. No one's made a Glock video in years. You know, they're going to look up the newest videos. They're going to watch the newest ones about the new SIGs and the new M&Ps and the new staccatos. And they're going to say, wow, these are really cool. Oh, there's a video about the Glock 43X that someone posted in 2019. I'm not going to watch that. That's old. You know?
I mean, even so, like, if they would have came out with, like your suggestion, 15-round mag, 2 of them in the box on the Glock 43X, and re-released it, and re-released the MOS system, direct mount to the thing, or the MOS system for the price of the regular gun, right? Mm-hmm. That would have, or something, and trying to get it to where everybody, like, I see the thing is you're not here. You don't see the old men that come in, or the people that come in with a list, and Glock's not on the list.
Yeah.
Right? That's, I mean, it breaks.
Sad state of affairs. It should be the default for any person looking to buy a gun.
I am with you, but it is not my, it is, I mean, I will tell people, I show them a macro. Well, I don't really show them that much shit anymore because usually it's everybody else. I'm more of a stalker nowadays. But I will go show a macro to somebody. I will go show a 43X. I'm like, look, this is the best gun in this place. Is this gun right here? And they'll go buy the 43X, or they'll go buy the macro, and it costs more.
Let me try to frame it this way. Do you think Ford needs to do more advertising on the F-150? It's the most popular car in the United States.
Right, but do you remember when you were born, the Ford F-150 was like a $10,000 car?
No, I don't remember.
It was like so it was probably when you came. It was like, so I remember when the first time I tried to buy one, I thought it was going to be $10,000, and it was fucking 30, and now they're 60.
Yeah.
And the reason is because every year they make it better. And every year they market to make it cool. There's a reason why like the F-150 is the best, is the number one. I fucking got one. But so go ahead.
It's a point that I'm trying to get at, is just that there isn't much to say about the Glock because you can only say it works enough times. They don't add shiny like marketing gizmos to their product, and it's one of the reasons I like it. SIG can re-release the same exact gun in a different color for the 1800th time, and it will drum up some interest and get some people to come in here and buy it, and probably sell it later down the line for the newer SIG model and all that. But I don't think that's the game that Glock has ever played, and I don't think that's the game that they should be playing. They need to continue making Perfection the most reliable handgun on the planet. If you don't agree with me, prove me otherwise. And business will come. They are the most popular on the planet. They're the most popular gun in the United States. And I don't see that changing just because certain companies start making marketing ploys or new gimmick functions like, oh, this one has a hole in its barrel.
So you don't think the aim point's a gimmick?
I don't think the aim point's a gimmick. I think the aim point Koa is probably, according to aim point, probably the best pistol red dot ever made. And I think Glock thinks that too. And I'm pretty sure Aimpoint thinks Glock is the best handgun ever made. So they married it. Made it a proprietary cut. It comes with a Glock. You buy this one gun with this optic, you will never have to change it either, ever. They'll serve you for the rest of your life. You can buy it today, bury it in your backyard, and dig it up 30 years later, and it'll probably still be the best thing that you can have.
Oh yeah, it'll still work.
Yeah. I think Aimpoint, they made the first ever red dot. They've proven themselves time and time again. And they're saying that this new thing they made is fucking tits. And I think Glock probably agrees with it. And best handgun, best red dot.
What if it's the cheaper version of the Acro, and that's what they just did? So what's the cheaper version of the Acro?
The C2?
The C2. What if it's just the C2 that's reconfigured?
No, it's a completely new dot. I've looked at it a lot.
We will see.
It's cool. I think it's going to be a big deal. And even if it's not like a barn burner, like people rushing in here to buy the new aim.
Oh, it will be.
The Glock Koa. Even if that's not the case, at the end of the day, it will be the best option, in my opinion. And for that reason alone, it will sell. That's what I got.
Any final words on that, Dean?
I still think they need to do advertise. I kind of agree with Will, because like younger people just aren't going to see it. That's just what it comes down to. They're not going to see it. And
it's kind of like
it doesn't have any new shiny, so it's
It's kind of like being like you think you're the mackest motherfucker in the world. Like, women should just come to me at my house because my dick is so big, right? But no one's gonna know your dick is big unless you go out there and show them.
Well, if one in
dick advertisement.
Sorry.
Well, if 1 in 3 dicks were yours, do you really need to be advertising it?
There's always another dick.
Yeah. So yes, you got to advertise. You have to stay doing that, or you become irrelevant.
I don't think Glock will become irrelevant in the same way that I don't think AKs will ever become relevant. It'll be the year 2800, and we'll be fighting aliens, and there will be some motherfucker with an AK built in 1957. Guarantee it.
No way. It'll be in some old guy's safe who died. You know what I mean? Just imagine this. So I personally think that I have the best. I rarely say it, but I think I have the best gun shop in the area. I do stuff to. I'll do dirty things to you, but I mean, I try to go above and beyond in everything. I try to have the best stuff. I try to be nice when I accommodating customer service. Like, I try to do everything to get you to come into my gun shop. I try to have and I think it's good. But imagine if I just said, I've got the fucking best gun shop in town. I do. Right now, we're going to go high noon. My gun shop's the best. And I said, you should just know because I've sold 50,000 guns or something ridiculous, right? I could just say, well, I've sold 50,000 guns since I've been around. You should just know that I'm the place to go. I give the deals, I shouldn't have to do any marketing. Or the marketing I do can be stale. Mm-hmm. My business would fucking fall apart.
Absolutely.
It would fall apart overnight. I have to constantly try to stay above and go beyond in order to stay relevant. And although that's a microcosm compared to what Glock is, it's the same principle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I agree. Yeah.
You're just thinking about cocks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Showing people.
All right, so we're gonna call it. We're gonna go to SHOT Show probably in a week. So I don't know if we'll be able to do a podcast, but I appreciate you guys sitting with us and talking shit. And if you can, smash the like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you can, go to our other channels. And if you have the opportunity, come to our shop in Sarasota, Florida. You can meet Dean. You can meet Luke. If I have time, I'll give you a tour of the factory, and you can see Omer doing what he does best, which is shipping. We'll see you. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Peace.